I'm Stephen Kane, founder and CEO of ArbiClaims. Our motto is don't hate, arbitrate. ArbiClaims is an online dispute resolution platform, AKA online small claims court alternative. And we're currently focused on small claims, but we'll raise the amount over time as high as we can go, 25, 50K, what have you. We use court enforceable binding arbitration as the mechanism for resolving disputes, all for a low price. I started ArbiClaims because I've had my own startup and small business clients for the past 6 years. I'm an attorney by background. I've also done 10 years of sales and business development, but I kept getting calls from people with small claims they couldn't address. They didn't necessarily think about how much I cost, and I cost way too much for them to address a $2,000 claim. Lawyers are expensive. And so here's the problem. Lawyers are too expensive to resolve small claims. You could say anything under 25K, anything under 30K doesn't make sense to hire a lawyer. I've been paid that much to fight cases that much, and it's just not right. And small claims, I don't think I have to sell anybody here, is painful. It's painful, it's dreary. So the options currently are either too expensive or inefficient. We want to change all that. We want to dramatically change the way people resolve disputes. And you can think of us as the Corona beer of dispute resolution. We want to make it a good, fun, as fun as it can get process, make it elegant. It's a massive, massive market, which shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody. The legal market in the United States is $500 billion. A huge slice of that, about 40%, is litigation. And a surprisingly big slice of that is small claims. Our addressable market, if you just assume we can get up to 25K and below claims, is $56 billion. We really want to make the solution save people a whole lot of time. That's the main thing. Small claims is a big time sink. Make it very convenient and have high quality. Our arbitrators spend 6 to 9 times on a matter versus your standard small claims judge or commissioner. We're seeing great results with 90% of losing parties paying out. It's pretty straightforward. Each side signs up, simple claim form. You pick your arbitrator. We think that skin in the game is super important. Schedule your hearing, submit evidence online. You have a 15 to 30-minute live webcam hearing. Half the battle here is listening to people, hearing them out, letting them vent. And that's part of why people love the experience. And this all happens in 3 to 4 weeks, and we have settlement tools that we're trying to settle all the time. Our go-to-market is enterprise and partnerships. These are existing customers and partners. We're going to start with small claims with them and work our way up to bigger claims. They pay for the claims on either side. It's working now. These are our numbers. I've got 8 seconds, but $80,000 run rate, 50% gross profit margin, and then the other numbers show we're really working. Thanks very much. Why? Oh, can I? Okay. So this is the team. I mentioned my background as a startup and small business attorney. I've also been at several legal tech companies and have started businesses before. My co-founder is an engineer, but also has an MBA. He's great at growth hacking, but also at building tools, and a phenomenal guy. We all actually like working together. We have a great time at the office. One of my team members is back here, Matt, and he's outstanding at operations and product. It's a straight A team for sure. Our arbitrators sort of represent a new profile, a new class of arbitrators. They're lawyers who are stay-at-home parents, or they have their own practices with excess capacity, or they're just bored at their jobs. And really, all of them believe in what we're doing.
This is a great idea. I mean,
thanks.
I don't know about any of you, but I've been hanging out in Philadelphia small claims court and San Francisco small claims court way too many times. You're dragging. This is amazing. This works. Judges.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So can we talk a little bit more about the numbers? What's your revenue model? You said that 75,000
That's our run rate, yeah.
Run rate. Is it a commission base or is it flat rate depending on the settlement?
So for now, it's enterprise where the company is paying to resolve the disputes for people on either side of the marketplace. So the reason they pay us is they save customer support time, keep their customers happy.
How long have you been selling?
Since last November. I hit my head against the wall with property managers and other people last year, but marketplaces since November.
What's your ideal customer? Who do you need
Airbnb.
to endorse it?
Airbnb. HomeAway is great, but Airbnb, for a lot of reasons, fits in really well with our model because they're really hands-on with the customer, whereas HomeAway takes a more distant approach.
Oh, sorry.
Are you more focusing on taking claims out of court or giving the individual a voice that probably wouldn't have filed anyway?
It really pisses me off that people don't have a voice. You know, it really bothered me that I couldn't help small business owners who had unpaid invoices and there was someone on the other side hiding behind the inconvenience of small claims court. So definitely a voice. And there are countless number of disputes beyond what's in court. I mean, we all know. How many people here have ever had a small claims dispute? They haven't done anything about it. Some. Well, see, that's always a risk. But everybody, though. But everyone has disputes they don't do anything about. And so the numbers are 3 million small claims a year in the US. There's probably 15 or 20 million that people don't do anything about, you know?
Typically, arbitration provisions have a preferred venue or arbitrator pre-drafted into the contract. So what is your relationship with a thumbtack? Are you already pre-drafted on an enterprise level into all their contracts, or how are you structuring that?
It's really interesting. Some of the companies put us in their terms, which is the best. Other companies rely on different carrots and sticks. So with a lot of the companies, they'll say, if you don't respond to this, we don't care if you're right or wrong, but we'll kick you off our platform. And that motivates most people. So we see a 75% response rate on something like that where they're making money off the platform.
How long does it take you to resolve a claim typically?
3 to 4 weeks. It depends on how quickly we can schedule the hearing. That's a challenge. But on average, it's 4 weeks.
Are the courts willing to send business to you on a referral?
So we've definitely explored that. We would love to do that, but they move super, super slow, as I'm sure you can imagine. And so we don't know yet. We know some courts are starting to build some of their own tools. I mean, they're certainly a form of competition for us. But most are not. Most are doing RFPs, but most are kind of thinking about it in the next few years. We're really riding a wave. ADR, alternative dispute resolution, is becoming more and more of a big thing. Europe's way ahead of the curve, Asia, other places.
What's your model for hiring and paying your arbitrators?
They get a flat rate. They get a flat rate. They get $80 an hour, which is much, much better than they make doing other legal gigs, actually, believe it or not.
Are they employees or contractors?
Contractors, yeah. You might make $35 to $50 an hour if you're lucky as a lawyer doing contract work, actually.
And you think you can scale up with having a contractor?
It's amazing. The first Craigslist posting I ever put up for an arbitrator, $80 an hour, I got 170 resumes, and I got Harvard Law, UCLA Law. They love the concept. They're bored or they have excess capacity. We're harder to get into than Harvard Law School. We only accept like 7% of our arbitrators. We put them through like a mock hearing. I mean, there's nothing more important.
You've kind of a problem because the company's hiring you, in the end, if they have too many disputes, that's a problem for them. So they're going to change their product or their business to reduce the number of disputes. How do you make this like a standard where everybody wants to use it? Where, like it'd be great if you get Airbnb, but if you don't, how do you get a broader set of customers?
So one of the values we've seen is this is a feedback loop for companies about their process. And so I totally agree with what you're saying. They're plugging holes so that they get less disputes. That's fine by us because there'll never be any shortage of disputes. And then beyond the marketplaces, Home Depot, Walmart, General Electric, AT&T, they need us too. We're already starting to see there's interest. There are plumbing companies. So the market's so massive and the need is so great that that's fine by us. And I think then we'll get more customers.
You're charging a company $250 per claim, right? But you're paying your arbitrators $80 an hour?
Yes.
So how do you make margin?
Yeah, so the arbitrators get a flat rate of 80, 100, or 120.
Right.
So they have an incentive to be quick, because if you let lawyers go on, they'll go on forever.
Yeah.
And so that's how. So we're guaranteed over 50% gross profit, and then because we have a 20% settlement rate, the average is even higher.
But if they're getting a flat rate of $80 an hour, it typically takes more than 3 hours for
Actually,
a claim
no.
to resolve.
So that you would think. We did the math, and it takes between 45 minutes and an hour and a half to resolve most of these disputes because they're like mostly like, oh, you scratched my car, or I don't like how you put it in the flooring. It sucks. You know.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, great. Stephen, good job.
Okay. Thanks very much. Okay. Appreciate it.